Hello, what's good? Welcome to CSC Sports. I'm your host, Jay Howard, and today I want to talk about the 7th and 8th seed in the NBA in the Western Division. You know, the Lakers are trying to get in the playoffs, but they have in front of them the Houston Rockets and the Utah Jazz. And the question I want to ask you guys out there, who's going to get that 7th and 8th slot, or who would you like to see get it? This is going to be funny, right? Because really, the 7th and 8th is going to have to face possibly San Antonio and OKC. That's what's going to happen. They might flip-flop, you know what I mean? But you're going to have to go through the best two in the NBA. Who do you think is going to get those last two slots? Let's look at it. It's like from a standpoint of standings, it's like either, I think, from a game and a half to 2 games that separate the 3 teams. You know what I mean? I think it's one or something like that. Anywhere from 1 to 2 games that separate the 3 teams. When I look at all 3 teams, obviously the Lakers are probably the best team far as talent. You know what I mean? Far as talent, like in going with the superstar and Kobe Bryant. When we look at camaraderie, you have to say the Houston Rockets. And you just look at what would I give Utah at this point in time to say why they're there. I think Utah, they have been a little bit more consistent than those other 2 teams. You know, the world wants the Lakers to get in because it wouldn't be right if Kobe Bryant and Dwight Howard and Steve Nash didn't make the playoffs this year. It just wouldn't be right to have all of that talent and they don't get in. You know what I mean? But this is what's crazy also. When I say that it's going to be kind of crazy, would you want to see a San Antonio and Lakers matchup the first round? I am used to seeing that matchup in the semis or the last round to go to the finals. I don't want to really see that in the first round. Will I like to see James Harden in San Antonio? Yes. Will I like to see OKC in the Rockets? Yes. I would love to see that with James Harden going against them. Then you go back to Utah. Would you want to see Utah and the Spurs? You saw last year was a sweep. I don't think so. Would you want to see Utah and OKC? Possibly. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Then would you want to see if you flip-flopped it again and just said, the Lakers get 7 and Utah gets 8. Do you think that the Rockets still have a chance? Like, if right now, if it switch, who would you want to see get the last slot? Say like the Lakers went to 7, Utah went to 8. Would you want the Rockets or Utah at the 8th slot? You know what I mean? Me personally, I want, out of the 3 teams, I would like to see the Lakers and the Rockets make the playoffs. It's something about Utah. I was rooting for Utah early in the season. I was saying to myself before the season started, when I looked at their roster with adding Mo Williams and Randy Foye and Marvin Williams, Al Jefferson, Derek Favors, and Hayward, I said they have a good team. But it's something about that team that's boring to me in the playoffs. It's like, what happened to them last year? If they're going to get in there and get ousted out in 4 games and stuff like that, I don't want to see them. James Harden, on the other hand, lights out MVP candidate, doing his thing in Houston. We can't discredit him as being an MVP candidate. I would love to see what him and Chandler Parsons, Jeremy Lin, and the Sheik would do in the first round against anybody. I would love to see them in the playoffs. As far as the Lakers, I think for the sake of basketball, it would be good for the Lakers to get in. I just couldn't, I'm just imagining me playing my NBA Live 10 right now with my updated rosters. I play NBA Live 10 still with updated rosters, right? And I say if I went straight to the playoffs right now, I would not want to see the Lakers sitting out of the playoffs. The Lakers have to be in to make me want to play. It's just seeing that purple and gold. I'm not a huge Laker fan at all, but to know that they're in there, it's a challenge for me. Because I think if the Lakers get in the playoffs, they're a totally different animal than they are getting up to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Once they know that they're in, you have to throw away all of this array that the Lakers went through in the regular season. Now, James Harden is going to be tested. Him and the Rockets are going to be tested. Utah was in there last year. You know what I mean? But I think out of the 3 teams, if the Lakers get in, they might be a different team. And I'm going to be honest with Tony Parker that twisted an ankle also. If the Spurs have to match up with them, I think they can beat them, but that's going to be hell. They might go 7. And the Lakers possibly can steal from either one of them or OKC if they click. And we know how basketball is. It's a game of 2 seasons. It's not one. Regular season is 1 season, and the playoffs is a totally different season. A lot of teams They don't care about the regular season. They just want to get into the playoffs and do their thing. So I think the Lakers make it more interesting. I think seeing James Harden possibly go against his team, his old team in OKC. Utah, you're out of here. I hate to say it. Those are my two teams to wrap it up. Houston and the LA Lakers. I want to know who your two teams you think are going to make the last two spots in the West, the 7th and 8th slot. I'm Jay Howard from CNC Sports. Peace, and I'm out. Let me know your teams.